to be hoping also that he gets that call up, but Standard Control in towards the final half a lap goes a little bit wide there, and that's going to affect him a whole lot. Driving in that number 32 Janetta took pole position in the qualifying session by 1.6 seconds, did a lap time in qualifying which was only a tenth of a second off of last season's pole sitter for the Tier 1's Javier Rand. So he's definitely a man who's capable of taking the fight to the Tier 1 boys. In towards the final corner here at Brands Hatch. He's going to convert his pole position into a win. I'm sure he's got the fastest lap as well. He's led every single lap of this race, Standard Control. It's going to be a grand shalom for him in his debut. Fantastic drive tonight in that Janetta. Standard Control is your winner, takes the checkered flag and wins the Open for GT4 season here at Motive Race. And one opportunity, he's just grabbed it. He has completely destroyed this Tier 1 field. I expected him to be up there fighting. I thought, yeah, he'll be a contender for sure. He'll jump in there, he'll be a force to be reckoned with. But being 18 seconds clear at the end of this race, Marty Road Racing, Freeman, Sergey, not Sergey, but Will, seasoned veterans in these GT4s. He's just jumped in. He's about to come round Goddard's for the final time here in this race. Checkered flag is out. Standard Control up towards the line takes the winner Donington here for round 3 in the GT4s for Tier 1. What a display of driving from the... gap between Cheezmonkey and Standard Control now down to 6 seconds. Standard Control is gaining hand over fifth in these last few laps of the race. This is unbelievable pace from Standard Control as he just puts a lap there on somebody. I think that was it wasn't Nilsson. Standard Control was just putting a lap on, but 4 seconds. Oh my goodness me. I think Cheezmonkey must have made a mistake on that previous lap there. He's brought it down by 2 seconds in one sector. Standard Control could be on for a race win here. Could it be that changing tyres in the pit stops will turn out to be an inspired strategic decision here from Standard Control? Cheezmonkey's pretty much led the entirety of this race and led every lap of this one. Got ahead of Standard Control off the line. Obviously qualified in second alongside Standard Control on the front row. Cheezmonkey's led to getting that move done into turn 2 on lap 1. The Standard Control is reeling him in and coming after him in these closing stages of the race. This could go either way at this point. Cheezmonkey has led this race from start to the current point. Has done this entire race on one set of tyres. Standard Control running on slightly fresher tyres. Put these on with about about half an hour left in the race actually, so he's done about half the race on these compared to Cheezmonkey doing almost the whole race on his tyres. The Standard Control with significantly fresher tyres and will have a pace advantage here as we've got a lap and a half left to go here at Mount Panorama. The ultimate round of the season. Just for a bit of context, Cheezmonkey came into this round with a 22-point lead in the championship. Standard Control knows he has to finish every run to Cheezmonkey to realistically keep that title fight going until the final round next week at Oulton Park. Cheezmonkey doing everything he has to do, and he will extend that championship gap as it stands, and it could be uncatchable for Standard Control if Cheezmonkey does take this win. He's got just over a lap to go. He's coming into the front chicane for the second last time here in this race. 40 seconds on the clock. We're going to have one more lap here at Bathurst as somebody's taken the braking markers for a bit of a ride there coming into the final corner. That might distract these two a little bit. Cheezmonkey coming through and up on the scene. Who is that in the foreground? We'll find out in a few moments time. But Cheezmonkey onto the final lap here for round 7 of the GT4 Championship here at Motive Racing on Assetto Competizione for our PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 leagues. Cheezmonkey looking set to extend his championship gap to Standard Control, but anything can happen on this final lap. Standard Control has been reeling him in over these last few laps, seems to have a lot more grip on the fresher tyres, but is it going to come to no avail in his pursuit of the race win? Cheezmonkey's done the bits here, he's done everything right. He's taking the lead off of Standard Control in the early stages. Standard control, took a bit of a gamble, put some fresh tyres on, lost a bit of time in the pit stops. It looks to have paid off in terms of the way that he's made the gains on Cheezmonkey. He's had the pace advantage and it got closer to Cheezmonkey than he was before the pit stop phases due to that decision. But I don't think it's going to be enough. With only half a lap left to go. Cheezmonkey's got a bit of traffic in front of him here. It's got a bit of traffic. So looks like it is. We'll find out in a moment. It's actually Cordeo. So Cordeo was running in a podium spot in the early start. Well, for most of the race really. He was in a good battle with Martin Road Racing, made a mistake, had to come into the pits, and he's dropped down to P6. It just goes to show actually what an amazing job Cheezmonkey is. And control. Oh no! Oh, as Cordeo tags Ryan Ruby. Ryan Ruby was being lapped by both of them there as Cheezmonkey squeezes through. Cheezmonkey's heart rate must have been absolutely through the roof there as he came through to put a lap on both Cordeo and Ryan Ruby. He makes his way through with standing control in the background. Within 2 seconds now of Cheezmonkey, but Cheezmonkey's just got a couple of corners left to go now and looks set to take this race win. That must have been heart in mouth time there for Cheezmonkey. He must have seen his race flashing before his eyes. In towards the final chicane he comes. Cheezmonkey came into this round, penultimate round of the season, with a 22-point gap in the championship. Knew that he could give himself pretty much a guaranteed chance of taking it next week if he could win this race. Knew he finished on the podium this evening, and all he'd have to do is finish on the podium next week to take the championship. But he takes the win and extends his gap in the point standings. Cheezmonkey is your race winner here at Bathurst. Standard Control takes second place. Great battle between these two throughout the race. Standard Control needed a couple more laps in the race but couldn't do it. Cheezmonkey your winner ahead of Standard Control. Marty Road Racing will complete the podium. He's a long way behind these two. It just goes to show the dominance at these two, that they lapped everyone up to P6 in that race. Astonishing form from both of those two. Will Freeman would have been on the podium if it hadn't been for his mistake early on. Cordeo also for Marty Road Racing. You've got to give credit to him because he
secret, and that I gotta keep it, but I want the lights on. Yeah, I want the lights see Neymar Jr. spin in goal for free.
Going to be hoping also that he gets that call up, but Slaed control in towards the final half of lap goes a little bit wide there, not that's going to affect him a whole lot. Driving in that number 32 Janetta took pole position in the qualifying session by 1.6 seconds, did a lap time in qualifying which was only a tenth of a second off of last season's pole sitter for the Tier 1's Javier Rand. So he's definitely a man who's capable of taking the fight to the Tier 1 boys in towards the final corner here at Brands Hatch. He's going to convert his pole position into a win. I'm sure he's got the fastest lap as well. He's led every single lap in this race, standard control. It's going to be a grand shalom for him in his debut. Fantastic drive tonight in that Janetta. Standard control is your winner, takes the checkered flag and wins the Open for the GT4 season here at Motive Racing. And one opportunity, he's just grabbed it. He has completely destroyed this Tier 1 field. I expected him to be up there fighting. I thought, yeah, he'll be a contender for sure. He'll jump in there, he'll be a force to be reckoned. But being 18 seconds clear at the end of this race, Multi Road Racing, Freeman, Sergey, well, not Sergey, but Will, seasoned veterans in these GT4s. He's just jumped in. He's about to come round to Goddard for the final time here in this race. Checkered flag is out. Standard control up towards the line takes the win as Donington here for round 3 of the GT4s for Tier 1. What a display of driving from this man in these wet conditions. He's definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with this season. Maybe join the party a little bit later for the championship, but certainly sending out a statement there. Marty Road Racing is going to come out of the last corner. He takes a P2 here in this race. A solid result there for him. Some good points there for Team 1 DJC. Freeman is going to complete the podium mark, lead coordinator for this GT4 series, out of Goddard for the final time. Solid podium finish there for him. I'm sure he's not going to be too displeased with that one. Sergey is going to come around to take a 4th place here. Managed to get a jump on Will in the pit stops, and he's going to get around the last corner. So I'm pretty sure Sergey's going to be reasonably happy with that one. He's considering that he was behind Will before that. So 4th place finish for one of our coordinators here on ACDC. Will Friedmann's going to come out of the last corner. Our standings man. Into the starting, comes over to take a 4-5, lost out in the pit stops there, got very unlucky there in the strategy. Cheezmonkey out of the last corner to P6, has had a bit of a difficult race, but towards the end really found the pace and has run that that Janetta to take a P6 there. HR USA coming over on to finish in 7th place. Porsche BMW of Mark Grave dropped off a bit towards the end. Don't know if he had a bit of damage or maybe just lost his motivation, but he comes in towards the final corner now, and Mark Grave is going to take an 8th place, some solid points in his championship there. But yeah, I'm sure he would have been hoping to be a little bit higher up in this race. Simesh will finish in 9th place. Bruno and Thomas Menger both classified. Mr. CJ and Imo by unfortunately disconnecting from the race there. But some excellent racing throughout the course of this evening. Really enjoyed the action here on the Motive Racing channel. The drivers putting on a great show there. Standard control, stepping up to the plate, making the most of his promotion. He's absolutely destroyed it here at Donington tonight. Wet conditions didn't hold him back. He just completely ate and centered it basically tonight. Donington quite happy with this track, but Senna took one of his most iconic wins in his career, but man of control, can't fault him tonight. Really well done. Marty and Freeman taking the podiums, but that is that then, ladies and gentlemen, for the Tier 1s. But GT4s for another week here on our Wednesday night show at Motive Racing on ACC on the PlayStation platform. Drop off another video, guys, if you enjoyed what you see. If you want to get involved in the on-track action, be sure to go to motiveracing.com and join this. Just over a lap to go as well into the French game for the second last time here in this race. 40 seconds on the clock. We're going to have one more lap here at Bathurst as somebody's taking the braking blockers for a bit of a ride there coming into the final corner. That might distract these two a little bit. Cheezmonkey coming through and up on the scene. Who is that in the foreground? I'll find out in a few moments time. But Cheezmonkey onto the final lap here for round 7 of the GT4 Championship here at Motive Racing on Assetto Corsa Competizione for our PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 leagues. Cheezmonkey looking set to extend this championship gap to standard control, but anything can happen on this final lap. Standard control has been reeling him in over these last few laps, seems to have a lot more grip on the fresher tyres, but is it going to come to no avail in his pursuit of the race win? Cheezmonkey's done the bits here, has done everything right. He's taking the lead off of standard control in the early stages. Standard control took a bit of a gamble, put some fresh tyres on, lost a bit of time in the pit stops. It looks to have paid off in terms of the way that he's made the gains on Cheezmonkey. He's had the pace advantage and it got closer to Cheezmonkey than he was before the pit stop phases due to that decision. But I don't think it's going to be enough. With only half a lap left to go. Cheezmonkey's got a bit of traffic in front of him here. It's got a bit of traffic. So looks like it is. We'll find out in a moment. It's actually Clegg. So Clegg was running in a podium spot in the early stage. Well, for most of the race really. He was in a good battle with Marky Road Racing, made a mistake, had to come into the pits, and it's dropped down to P6. It just goes to show actually what an amazing job Cheezmonkey is. And control. Oh no! Oh, it's Clegg tags Ryan Ruby. Ryan Ruby was being lapped by both of them there as Cheezmonkey squeezes through. Cheezmonkey's must have been absolutely through the roof there as he came through to put a lap on both Clegg and Ryan Ruby. He makes his way through as standard control in the background. Within 2 seconds now of Cheezmonkey, but Cheezmonkey's just got a couple of corners left to go now and looks set to take this race win. That was the last time there for Cheezmonkey. Must have seen his race flashing before his eyes. In towards the front chicane he comes. Cheezmonkey came into this round, penultimate round of the season, with a 22-point gap in the championship. Knew that he could give himself pretty much a guaranteed chance of taking it next week if he could win this race. Knew he finished on a podium this evening. All he'd have to do is finish on the podium next week to take the championship. But he takes the win and extends his gap in the point standings. Cheezmonkey is your race winner here at Bathurst. Standard control takes second place. Great battle between these two throughout the race. Standard control needed a couple more laps in the race but couldn't do it. Cheezmonkey your winner ahead of standard control. Marty Road Racing will complete the podium. He's a long way behind these two. It just goes to show the dominance of these two, that they lapped everyone up to P6 in that race. Astonishing form from both of those two. Will Freeman would be on the podium if it hadn't been for his mistake early on. They are also, but Marty Road Racing, you've got to give credit to him because he has made the most of everybody else's mistakes. He's kept it going, hasn't made any mistakes himself. He's going to finish on the podium here, comes over the line there to complete the race. Really well done there to Marty Road Racing. Will Friedmann also a success story in this race of sorts. Obviously made the mistake in the early stages coming through the mountain, got a bit of damage, had to come into the pits. Unscheduled pit stop in the early stages, which before the pit window opens, so that dropped him way back down from, he was in 15th place in the early stages. Brought his way back up into 4th place with some brilliant overtakes and some solid strategy as well. Will Freeman is coming in towards the front of the game, puts a lap on HR USA as he comes through as well. Down the hill he comes under the Liquid Molly Bridge, moving towards the final corner. He's about to put up on C-Mellish, but C-Mellish will stay on that same lap as I'm just about. C-Mellish in turn is about to finish in 8th place. Oh, he gets some power that last corner. What's going on there? Will Freeman though over the line to take P4. Sergey Zeynalov not too far back in the end, having lost the position to him in the closing lap. Sergey comes over to take a P5 here in this race. They have finished in 6th, in 7th. HR USA was in 8th. T-Managed 9th. Lazy Campbell looks like Duke Martin's made another mistake there because he's dropped way off the back of Lazy Campbell. So Lazy Campbell completing the top 10, a really solid drive from him. Withstood the pressure from Duke Martin brilliantly. Duke Martin crosses the line in 11th place. Brulo classified in 12th. Castle Racing, not the race for him. 13th place for him, out of sorts tonight to say the least. Snooky 14th, Nilsson 15th. Pete Bibb, Ryan Ruby with the calamities at the start, classified in 17th spot. I'm such an in 18th. Welcome back, ladies. For the little delay getting us out onto the track here for qualifying, but we are here for the final round of this season. This is it then. This is where it all gets decided. We're here at Oulton Park for round 8 of the GT4 Championship, and it's still very much on the line between the two championship contenders, Cheezmonkey and Standard Control. Both go into this with a chance of taking home the GT4 Season 2 title. Cheezmonkey leads the championship coming into this one by 26 points after a win last week at Mount Panorama Bathurst, but Standard Control was very, very strong in last week's race and was reeling him in towards the end of the race, so I'm sure he's going to want to pick up where he left off at the end of last week's race and really be giving Cheezmonkey a little bit of a challenge. He's set in the Discord server and he's got a few tricks up his sleeve in the general chat, so we'll have to check to keep an eye and see what exactly those tricks are. And look at that, he's already straight on the pace. Standard Control has just done a lap that's in the 1 minute 42, and I think that is a new lap record here at Motive Racing for the GT4 category. The original record was a 142.8 by a Lightblade set in the Gwinnett, the same car that Standard Control's in, and Standard Control's just lowered that bar by 0.2 of a second, so he is clearly on it right now and looking to take every opportunity that he can here in this final round of the season. As we said before, he's 26 points adrift of this man here, Cheezmonkey, who's currently sat in third at the moment in this qualifying session. He's 1.3 seconds off of the fastest time being set by Standard Control. Camd is currently splitting those two in second place, racing tonight as a reserve, so he's doing a good job, is Camd is, to be able to see if he can try and throw a spanner in the works for Standard Control or Cheezmonkey, because Standard Control does need as many drivers in between himself and Cheezmonkey as he possibly can if he is to take the title. Cheezmonkey very much in the box seat, as we said, with a 26-point lead over Standard Control, but anything can happen if he gets a bit of damage on the car, or if something happens, if you know, God forbid, if somebody runs into him, then it could definitely spice things up a little bit, but we're hoping that doesn't happen, and we're hoping that we have a clean final race of the season. I want to also welcome everybody who's watching on the stream at the moment, and we've got a few comments coming in. I'm just going to try and pop those up on the screen now, because I know that we have got there's a few of you saying hello today and chiming in, so sorry about this. Yep, so let's get rid of those standings and put the comments on the screen. So we've got Cosmic Mike mentioning about the music. Absolutely, Cosmic Mike sorted that one out, hopefully. We've got Matthew Jordan says, let's go Cam, in the comments. Ryan Racing says, final round. Yeah, absolutely, Ryan. Obviously, Ryan Racing, also known as Ryan Ruby, he's currently out there at the moment. He's sat in 19th, so he's still yet to do a lap time at the moment in this session. But he made the jump from Tier 2 up into Tier 1 midway through the season, and since then hasn't been on the form that we saw from him in Tier 2, but that golfing class and that extra pressure on you when you move up a tier, it can always have a detrimental effect on your performance. It can have a positive effect, but it can go the other way as well. It really depends on how you deal with it. But Ryan hoping to go out with a high, I'm sure about that one tonight. We got Eric the Viking saying, are we getting a stream tonight? Thank you. Yes, Eric, this is but Standard Control currently sat on the provisional pole position here in this session. 6 minutes left to go in this one, and he's got 0.8 of a second over Camd is. Xander Flander, KD both sat in the pits. KD also filling in tonight as a late stand-in. Not a late stand-in, he was actually pretty much booked up well in advance for this one. We've got Cheezmonkey in P5, he's dropping down the order, and this is what Standard Control really needs. He needs as many drivers to get in between himself and Cheezmonkey as he possibly can, maybe put Cheezmonkey under some pressure. But I want to reiterate that despite, oh my goodness, the Standard Control goes even faster there, a 1:42.4, that is an unbelievable time there from Standard Control. I do want to reiterate that even if Cheezmonkey does finish down in 7th and he needs 6th in order to take the championship, he could still get the championship, because some of these drivers in here are from Tier 2. Midway through the season, we had a bit of a crisis. A few drivers left the Discord server, so we're currently running. We got quite lucky actually, because there were 9 drivers from each tier said they could race tonight, plus 2 reserves, so we got a full grid. But yeah, unfortunately, because of that, we've got a merged tier essentially. So Cheezmonkey could be finishing higher up in the Tier 1 classification, depending on if anyone from Tier 2 manages to get ahead of him in the race. So it could definitely be on the cards. So even if he comes in 7th or 8th and standard control wins, he could still get technically that 6th place that he needs to win the championship. Obviously, we'll have to go through this later on. It's a bit difficult to explain when it hasn't even happened yet. So once all eventualities play out, we'll be able to dictate exactly what it's done to the championship situation. But right now, standard control doing everything he needs to do, sat on provisional pole position by almost a second over CaMeDiz. So he is on it at the moment and looking very strong, looking likely that he might be able to take this title if anything happens to Cheezmonkey. CaMeDiz in the pits, Sander van der likewise. KD and Cheezmonkey both out there on lap times right now. Pete Bibb in the pits, everybody else bar I'm Such a Nub is out on the track. I'm Such a Nub, also one of our late standing reserves tonight. We've got Pete Bibb in the pits, as we said. Cordeo, the likely champion of the Tier 2, is currently running in 7th at the moment in this qualifying session. He'll be racing in this Tier 1 division for next season. We've got Marty Reb racing in 8th place. Also, I want to say a big shout out to Cordeo because he is the GT3 champion here at Motive. So massive congratulations to him. Took the GT3 title for our Sunday night series, and it's good to have him out on track for the season finale for the GT4s now as well. Marty Rowe Racing currently sat in 8th place. He's coming up towards the line now. Let's see what he can put on the board. Can he improve? No, he can't, not for the time being. Kodalungu sat in 9th place at the moment. He tags the inside of the grass there, coming through his slops. We've got Falguest currently coming out of Lodge Corner now. Let's see what Falguest can do here. One of the original OGs here at Motive Racing on Project Cars 2. Let's see what he can put on the board here. Currently P10, and he stays P10 for the time being. You've got King Quinn coming up towards Britain's chicane now. Ryan Ruby down in P12 at this point. It can definitely improve from there though, that is for sure. Duke Martin in the pits at the moment. The Lazy Camel also in the pits. Team Mellish currently going around the middle part of the lap now. HR USA not having the best of qualifying sessions tonight, unlike him, to see him down in P16. Hopefully he can get that sorted out as this session goes on. Nilsson still sat in the pits. Omros Kurt out there at the moment, just coming down towards Lodge, the final corner of the lap. Let's stay with him and see what he gets up to here. He's currently down in P18, as we said, a little way off for the top time, 5.5 seconds off of standard controls pace. Let's see if he can improve his lap time here. He comes over the line, can't improve that time around. I'm Such an upset in the pits, maybe making some adjustments to the setup, trying to get something sorted out for this race. As we said, a late stand-in for tonight. And Snooky currently sat in P20 at the moment, having not done a lap time, so he needs to get something on the board ASAP if he wants to have a good chance of getting himself up there in this for the race. But 2 minutes left to go here in this qualifying session. Standard control looking good for a pole position here, and he needs to make sure that he can get a few drivers in between himself and Cheezmonkey if he is to take this title. Cheezmonkey in the box seat, as he has been, as we know he has been over the last couple of weeks. Took the win at Bathurst to extend his points margin when possibly the odds were against him. Did a really good job last time out, and he comes over the line there and he goes into P3. So that's excellent stuff there from Cheezmonkey. Pushes Sander Fander and Katie down a position. He'll get one more lap in. I think he crossed the line just a little bit too late to do another lap after this one, but he's bailed out. He's gone off, he's pulled off to the side, so that's going to be his qualifying session over with. CaMeDiz coming through the middle part of the lap now. He's coming in towards Island Bend. He's currently sat in second. Can he get a little bit closer to standard control here in this session? Let's see. Lazy Camel says, go Xander Flander, I'll be starting around the back. I feel safer there. Lazy Camel, you'll definitely be out of harm's way, but I don't know, P4, maybe not actually. P14, you've still got quite a few drivers around you. Xander Flander doing a brilliant job here in the qualifying session, it has to be said. Has absolutely lifted it up here. He's only 1.1 seconds off for the fastest time being set by standard control. Katie looks like he's leaving the pits. He won't get around in time to start another lap though, so maybe he's just getting a sighter in, getting a little bit more of a feel for the track. Possibly made some adjustments to the setup and wants to feel exactly what he's got underneath him before he goes into the race. But CaMeDiz coming in towards the final part of the lap. Under Warwick Bridge and up towards Stuart here. What can he do? Can he shave a few tenths off of that fastest time and possibly put standard control under a bit of pressure once we go into the race? I don't think he'll be able to stick to nick pole from him, but he might be able to get a little bit closer and potentially give standard control something to worry about. Here he comes into Lodge Corner. Let's see what Candice can do onto the power, staying not too much off of that curb onto the out of the last corner. Out over the line he comes. What is it going to be for Candice? He does a great lap there, gets within half a second of standard control. So this race is definitely not going to be a formality. We're not going to see standard control running away with this one. That is for sure. A lovely lap there from Cam Diz. And it's going to be a good race, that is for sure. Cheezmonkey, the championship leader, the favourite for this title, lining up in third place. How is he going to deal with the pressure? We'll have to see. Xander Flander in fourth will be lining up alongside Cheezmonkey on the front row. Sorry, the second row, I do apologise. KD has just come into the pits he will line up in P5 with Pete Bibb alongside him. Cordeo and Codalungu on the fourth row. Let's see what Codalungu can do here. Can he improve his lap time right at the end of this session? I don't think he is. No, he's coming into the pits. Marty Road Racing on the fifth row with Falgas alongside him. King Quinn in 11th. Ryan Ruby alongside him in 12th. Duke Martin and Lazy Camel on 13th and 14th places. HR USA, C. Mellish, Nilsson and Omrozka with I'm Such a Nub and Snooky. Is he going to get a lap in here right at the end of the session? Let's hope he does. Time isn't on his side here. He's only got a few seconds left in this session. He probably crossed the line in the nick of time. Out of Lodge corner he comes now. What is it going to be for Snooky as he comes up towards the line? It's now or never for him. Let's see what the time is. He moves up one position out into 19th place. So not the qualifying session that Snooky would have been wanting there. So it's going to be standard control lining up at the front with Cam alongside him, Cheezmonkey and Xander Flander on the second row. We'll be going live very shortly for the final race of the season though, ladies and gentlemen. Let us know in the comments section who your favourite is for this one. Who do you think is going to take the title? Standard control or Cheezmonkey? Cheezmonkey only needs a P6 in this race to take the championship. Standard control needs to win. Big points gap in the favour of Cheezmonkey, but stay tuned. We'll be back very, very shortly. We're going to go to a very, very quick interval and we'll be back on for the formation lap in a few moments' time. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're here on the formation lap, getting ready to go green for the final round of the GT4 season here at Motive Racing on Assetto Corsa Competizione for the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 platforms. We've got Victor Alvarez in the comments saying good luck everybody. Victor Alvarez is also known as I'm Such a Nub. Currently we're starting at the back of the grid for this one, but hopefully he can make his way through. In fact, he won't be back of the grid because Duke Martin has had a bit of a moment somewhere. He's brought it into the pits. So he will be starting from the pits. He's maybe making some adjustments, maybe not happy with the setup, but the sacrifice that he makes is that he will have to start from the back. So that is not what he would have been hoping for in any way, shape or form. So that promotes I'm Such a Nub up into 19th place, and everybody that was set to line up behind Duke Martin will be pushed up a position. Got deedeeTKU in the comments saying good luck everybody, and the Lazy Camel says good luck all, no rain. Don't know whether or not there's going to be a lack of rain or otherwise the Lazy Camel, but I'm sure that both of the title contenders, well, I imagine Standard Control is probably hoping that we have rain. Cheezmonkey will be hoping and praying that it stays as it is and then he can just bring it home on the podium spots or in a top 6 spot. That's all he needs for the title. Standard Control needs to win the race, and for Cheezmonkey to, for want of a better expression, have an absolute mare. So here we come into the final sector of this formation lap. Standard Control is going to get this race going. Cam Diz will be lining up alongside him, and Cam Diz, to be fair to him, considering he's a late stand-in for tonight, did a really strong job in the qualifying session. Got within as half a second of Standard Control into P2. So if anyone could really throw a spanner in the works for Standard Control, then it could possibly be Cam Diz. But the drivers are just coming up towards the final part of this formation lap now. Let us know in the comments, guys, who you think is going to take this race. Who's going to win the title? Cheezmonkey's got to be the favourite, but you cannot write off Standard Control. And if he's got any tricks up his sleeve, maybe any Lewis Hamilton type tactics, then now's the time to show it. As we're going to go double file here out of Lodge Corner up towards the start-finish line here at Oulton Park. The final round. This is where it's all decided here for the GT4 Championship at Motive Racing. And here we go. Standard Control, once he gets it going, once he goes green, will be lights out. And it is lights out and away we go. Standard Control gets a poor start off the line, and Cam Diz already around the outside of him, coming in towards Old Hall Corner. Still side by side though. Standard Control's going to try and get a good exit out of the corner, but Cam Diz has done him. And Cheezmonkey now looking to the inside of Standard Control as well. Side by side, the two championship contenders coming into Cascades, and Cheezmonkey's going to go up the inside here, hugs the curve on the inside, and Standard Control a little bit wide through the corner, and he's done him there. So that is now Cheezmonkey up into the position. Excellent stuff there from Cheezmonkey up into second place, getting ahead of Standard Control. He needed that as a bit of a boost. Standard Control now running in third place, but one man who's done brilliantly here is Cam Diz. He's up into the lead of the race here on the opening lap. What a brilliant first couple of corners there for Cam Diz. Xander Flander running in fourth place. Cordeo has made a good start up into fifth. We've got KD, Pete Bibb, Kodalungu, Ryan Ruby and Snooky completing the top 10. C. Mellish is in 11th place. Lazy Camel's picked a couple of drivers off into 12th. And I'm Such a Nub has made an unbelievable first lap here up into 14th place. Now I reckon there's been an incident at the back. Nilsson, Falgas, King Quinn, HR USA have all dropped back. Marty Road Racing is behind Duke Martin, who started from the pits. So it's not been a good race, not been a decent start to race for him at all, as Cam Diz leads the way as we're coming towards the end of the first racing lap here. But he's still got Cheezmonkey giving him a lot of pressure here. Standard Control's drops off the back of these two a little bit. He's now got Cordeo and Xander Flander for company, as KD's also watching it unfold in front of him as well. But wowee, Standard Control's not going to have liked that one bit. He's dropped behind Cam Diz and his title rival Cheezmonkey. He needed to finish ahead of Cheezmonkey to have any chance of taking the championship. But now that he's behind him, it's very difficult to see him being able to win this title. But anything can happen here. We don't want to write it off at all. Standard Control can still take this championship if he can get into the lead of the race. And if Cheezmonkey makes any kind of mistakes, then it's still game on. But Cheezmonkey was pretty solid last time out at Bathurst, and he ended up taking the win of the race. Now, if he does anything like he did last week, then he could be on for another win. He's still within a second of Cam Diz in these early stages of this race. Standard Control in third place, Cordeo, Xander Flander, KD running in sixth. These top six have broken away a little bit now. Ryan Ruby running in 7th place. He's got Snooky. Snooky has made what a start to the race for Snooky. A lap and a half into this race, and he's gone from 19th up into 8th place. He has been on fire in his opening couple of laps. Well done, Snooky. That's unbelievable. So he managed on the back of him. Omros Kurt running in 10th place. The Lazy Camel Falguest in 12th. I'm such a nub. Has gone ahead of Kodalungu, but the train of cars here battling out. Oh no! As I'm such a nub makes a mistake. They're coming out of shallow hairpins. Oh! And King Quinn Nilsson, collects him, and Nilsson veers back onto the track there, right in the path of Marty Road Racing and Pete Bibb. As these two come through, Marty gets through unscathed, but Pete Bibb looks like he get held up a lot there behind him as we saw Nilsson veering back onto the road, and I'm such a nub. I think it's dropped back to last place there, so that is not the situation that he would have been open to there. As Eric the Viking says in the comments section, way to go, Snooky. Absolutely, Eric. He has been a force to be reckoned with over these first couple of laps, but he has dropped off the back of C managed a little bit. He's now 3 seconds behind him, and it's got Omros Kurt Falguest and the Lazy Camel coming onto the back of him here, as we've got Cam Diz checking out at the front. It's got over a second of a gap here to Cheezmonkey, and Cheezmonkey has now got standard control, really hassling him here as they come through Old Hall Corner for the 3rd time here in this race. Standard control is going to want to get ahead of Cheezmonkey as soon as he possibly can and try and bring that gap down to Cam Diz. He needs the win really to standard control to have any chance of taking this title off Cheezmonkey, and the man who is fighting for this title happens to be the driver in front of him, who's going to be in no mood to yield whatsoever. So this is going to be extra difficult here for standard control if he is to get himself up into that 2nd place. Standard Flanders still pressuring the back of Guideo and KD right behind these. Ryan Ruby's reeled them in a little bit over these last couple of laps. This battle for 4th could very, very soon involve Ryan Ruby, as he's brought the gap down to 2.3. It was 2.9 on the previous lap, so he managed still running in 8th place. Omros Kurt Falguest and Snooky's undone a bit of his hard work here. So he's now behind Omros Kurt and Falguest, so didn't see what happened there, but he's had a bit of a moment somewhere out there. And Kodalungu is now closing up onto the back of him as well. 2nd and a half back to Lazy Camel. We've got King Quinn in 14th place right now, and HR USA very, very close behind this. As we can see, the Lazy Camel's had a bit of a moment there, and I think King Quinn's done him up into 13th. He has. Nicely done there from King Quinn. In the foreground, though, you got this battle going on between Omros Kurt and Falguest. Falguest looking to try and get the move done into his stops. He's having a little look to the inside. He's going to want to go for the move. No, he's not for the time being. Snooky still sat in 11th with Kodalungu just behind him. The Lazy Camel has got King Quinn, HR USA in close contention, and Marty's done really well. He's closed up on the back of these guys already. It was 2.6 seconds back to him. Oh no! As we see there, that was a bit of collision there between the Lazy Camel and HR USA. Oh no, Lazy Camel's off onto the grass. He's all over the place there, as we now see Marty Road Racing moving through, as well as Kodalungu, and he's going backwards there at the moment. Pete Bibb is about half a second behind Duke Martin. These guys not too far for this battle either, but the Lazy Camel has well and truly thrown his race for the time being there. He's going to be a long way back there for him. Oh, disaster of a moment there for him, but Falguest has managed to clear Snooky and Kodalungu a bit. Oh my goodness, there's so much action going on in the first few laps here of this race. It's hard to keep up with, honestly. I must be getting old, because this is I'm struggling. But Marty Road Racing is still on the back of King Quinn right now, and HR USA, Duke Martin, Pete Bibb in the background there. Pete Bibb still hassling the back of Duke Martin as they come into Cascades. And I'm such a novice in the pits at the moment, so he must have some damage on that car. I don't know what exactly is hindering him at this point. One man who isn't being hindered in any way, shape or form, though, is Cam Diz. He's got a 1.8 second gap here over Cheezmonkey, and Cheezmonkey's still trying his absolute damnedest to keep standard control behind him. Standard control needs to get ahead of him if he is to take this title. Rodeo still running in 4th place right now. KD in 5th. Ryan Ruby closing up onto this pack as we speak. Xander Flanders had a bit of a moment, not sure where, but he's down to 7th place here, so he's clearly had some kind of skirmish. C Mellish running all by himself in 8th place. Falguest has put a bit of space between himself, Snooky, and Kodalungu. Kodalungu still has in the back of Snooky for 10th place. Omros Kurt has now got Kingpin looking to his outside, coming into his stops. Oh, Kingpin's got the inside from the next corner. Omros Kurt is getting bullied around here as a Marty Road Racing is looking to his outside. Through Knickerbrook we go, side by side, and Marty's going to have that one done, I think. Oh, he goes really wide over the curb, and he does get a position completed there on Omros Kurt, and is he going to be able to hold on? I think HR USA is now looking to the back of Omros Kurt. Omros Kurt takes the back of, he takes the back of Marty there. Oh no, they come together. Marty's not going to be happy about that one. It looked like Omros Kurt was a little bit aggressive there as they came through Warwick Bridge. And that's dropped him way off at the back of him now. So Omros Kurt has got through unscathed there and continues on his merry way. He might have a bit of damage there. Goes wide through Lodge. Oh no. The HR USA got caught up in the worst of that as well. Duke Martin's now ahead of him. Pete Bibb's still on the back of Duke Martin, but HR USA losing out. Marty also, and Omros Kurt getting away scot-free with that one. Very lucky there for him. In the meantime, standard control 2/10 behind Cheezmonkey, but we're going to stay with this battle here for what is 13th place here in this race. Omros Kurt has got Duke Martin, Pete Bibb very close in contention. HR USA only 1.2 seconds off, but a big loser in that little incident there, which was pretty much started by Omros Kurt, was Marty Road Racing. He's down in 17th place and he's a few seconds off of this battle. He's going to need to get his head back in the game and try and get that gap down if he can. The front between Cam Diz and Cheezmonkey now over 3 seconds, so Cam Diz is absolutely flying out the front. Cheezmonkey trying his best to keep standard control behind him. Cheezmonkey goes wide there, and that's going to allow standard control up the inside, and he's got himself into second place there. Standard control got a bit wide there coming out of Knickerbrook, and I think that's going to be job done there. No, it wasn't Knickerbrook, I'm sorry, that was Warwick Bridge even. But now standard control is the Cheezmonkey's got him back there coming out of Lodge, so that's incredible developments there. Cheezmonkey now back up into second place. These two trading places. I thought standard control had that one done. He's going to be frustrated now because he needs to finish ahead of Cheezmonkey if he is to take this title. These two championship rivals here. Cheezmonkey all over the grass there, out of Old Hall into Cascades they come now. Standard control, is he going to have a look? No, thinks better of that one. Cheezmonkey clearly trying very, very hard to keep standard control behind him. He doesn't need to finish in front of him, but he's going to want to. That is for sure. Cam Diz, our reserve tonight, doing a phenomenal job out the front. 5 seconds is his gap over these two title rivals, as they're coming through Island Bend in towards Shell Isles now. But Cheezmonkey here hanging by a thread with standard control. With standard control, standard control's championship thread, because he needs to get ahead of Cheezmonkey in order to have any chance here in this title. At the moment, it's not going to be enough for him. Fredeo's got Katie and Ryan Ruby very close behind him. Fredeo and Katie have been battling it out. Ryan's been reading the gap down gradually over the course of the last few laps. Standard has dropped off of these three a little bit, but Katie looking to the inside here of Fredeo, and Ryan's looking to the outside of Katie. It's a three-way fight for fourth place in towards Histops, and Knickerbrook they come. Katie tagging the grass a little bit there. Ryan will be looking to the inside on the exit of the corner. Is he managed to get that done? No, he's going to tuck back in behind him for the time being. But it's such great racing throughout the pack at the moment. Falguest still holding off Codlunga in the battle for 9th place. Marty's got ahead of these drivers here, so I don't know what's going on there. But has there been some kind of incident here with HR USA, Pete Bibb, Duke Martin, Snooky, Lazy Camel, King Quinn? They must have all had some kind of incident, because Marty is now ahead of all of them in 11th place, despite having a bit of damage on the front of that car. So I don't know what's gone on there. We completely missed that one on the stream, but something's clearly happened. But I just guess you just don't know where to look at the moment. The action is non-stop here in this final race of the season. Cheezmonkey's still holding title rival standard control behind him right now. Fredeo sat in 4th place. Katie, Ryan Ruby still very much in close contention. These three are just gradually pulling away from Sander Flander, who doesn't seem to be quite on the pace of them at the moment. Steve Mellish running in a world of his own in 8th place. Falguest has managed to gap Codlunga a little bit now. He's got 1.4 seconds of a gap to him at this point. Team RT Road Racing still in 11th place, having got ahead of this mid-pack battle. Pete Bibb has lost a bit of time to Marty. HR USA's got Duke Martin still Haas in the back of him, 4th and 13th spot. Snooky in 15th at the moment. Lazy Camel a couple of seconds behind him in 16th place. Nilsson in 17th. King Quinn's gone wide. King Quinn's lost it. I think he's got out of the way for the leaders there, but possibly. I'm not sure. Yeah, he's got out of the way for the leaders, so good stuff there from him. Cheezmonkey's still holding on ahead of standard control, as we can just see a back marker there, moving well out of the way. But Cam Diz leading the race. Cheezmonkey and standard control still continuing their battle. Into Lodge corner they come. Monkey's been doing an absolutely brilliant job of holding him behind him, because it's not easy. Standard control is one of the quickest drivers here on ACC on the PlayStation 4 platform, and he's not in this title fight for no reason. He obviously only took half points from his first 2 races, seeing as he did those races in Tier 2. So he's been on the back foot for the whole of this season, but to be fair, Cheezmonkey's had his fair share of bad luck as well. Standard Control did go on a 4-race winning streak in the mid part of the season, so he's got the talent. And he's currently sat in 3rd place right now, though, and he needs to find his way ahead of Cheezmonkey if he can even consider chasing after the race leader Cam Diz. Has a little look to the inside, feints to make a move into Highland Bend, and he goes for it actually. Cheezmonkey has to leave him space on the inside, side by side. It's not easy to go side by side through Highland Bend, and in the end Standard Control has to back out of it. But he looked like he was really eyeing up that move there. Maybe if it was later in the race, he might have gone for that. Oh no, Standard Control loses it. Coming out of shallow hairpin, he just gets it under control. Wow, that was very close. He was very nearly in the wall there, I reckon. If he had just got a little bit more twitchy, then he would have been game over for him. In the background of this, Credeo, KD and Ryan Ruby still having a great little tussle here for 4th place. But Standard Control's played himself out of that battle for 2nd for at least a couple more laps. Now Cheezmonkey can breathe a sigh of relief and go again. Oh no! What's up there? Is that back marker? I think a back marker just got it in front of him. I don't know who that was. I'll try and figure out who that was as this race goes on. But Cordeo is still ahead of Katie right now. And Ryan Ruby's still very much on these guys' tail at this point in P6. Standard Control's already got back onto Djphil. He's got ahead of him. Cheezmonkey must have made a mistake for that middle sector. Standard Control's up into 2nd, but it's still not done yet. Cheezmonkey gets a lovely exit out of Lodge Corner. Control's on the outside. I think he's got a better straight line speed here. Up towards Old Hall they come. Yep, Standard Control, that move done up into 2nd place. Cheezmonkey tucks in behind him, and now is Standard Control's chance. He's 8 seconds behind the race leader Cam. Now is his opportunity to go after the race leader, try and get that lead of the race. But Standard Control, he's running in 2nd place right now, and he's got Cheezmonkey looking back to his outside, coming up towards the Island Bend. Is he going to be able to get it around him? And he has done. Yeah, Standard Control looks like he lifted off a bit there, coming down Lakeside. So Cheezmonkey back up into P2. These two are chopping and changing right now. It's literally, I don't know who's meant to be in P2. It's just one moment you see that Cheezmonkey's made a mistake, Standard Control's in 2nd, then Standard Control seems to just let him back past again. I don't know what's going on between these two. But right now, Cheezmonkey in that 2nd spot. Championship leader Cheezmonkey's favourite for this title. Looks like he is going to be able to do it as it stands. Standard Control looking to the inside though. Coming into his stops. Is he going to be able to go late on the brakes? I think he is. Oh! In the end, Cheezmonkey just takes his corner and leaves him a car's width on the inside. That was well done there from Cheezmonkey. But Standard Control's still there from the 2nd part of the corner. Through Nickelbrook they come now. Gets a little bit wide there as Cheezmonkey onto the curb. But Standard Control looks like he's got this move back done again into 2nd place. But who knows how long it's going to be until Cheezmonkey's back up in P2. These two are having a great little fight. These two championship contenders here going at it for this final race of the season. Standard Control knows he needs to finish ahead of Cheezmonkey and needs a few drivers to get ahead of Cheezmonkey for Cheezmonkey to lose this title to him. Right now though, Standard Control doing a brilliant job here in trying to get himself ahead of Cheezmonkey, and now he can try and focus his efforts on the race leader Cam Diz if he can. Well, has Cheezmonkey got the pace to keep onto the back of Cheezmonkey right now? As Standard Control got the pace to just stay on to him. We'll have to wait and see over the course of this race. As we can just see a driver there coming out of the pits, having made a impromptu pit stop. Pit window doesn't open until minute 25 of this race, so presumably that's just for damage, that one. And they'll have to come in again at some point throughout the course of this race. Reneo's still running in 4th place with KD and Ryan Ruby very close behind him at the moment. Xander Flanders closed up onto this trio now, so it's become a quartet battling over 4th place. And Credeo's just doing what he has to do there, setting that P4, Tier 2, the champion-elect. Oh, as we see KD, no, as we see back marker there moving well out of the way. It looked like there was a little bit of confusion there, but they all get through unscathed. Thank goodness for that. But so yeah, still as you were between all of these guys. Standard Control still sat in 2nd place. He's kept that position ahead of Cheezmonkey, making that move about a lap ago, and he doesn't look like he's putting any space between it. No, it doesn't look like he's trying to pull away or go after the leader. Obviously he'll be trying, but at the moment hasn't been able to shake off Cheezmonkey. Quadeo still sat in fourth with KD and Ryan Ruby very close behind. These guys haven't just put a lap there on King Quinn. Always King Quinn goes wide there onto the gravel. Standing Control still sat in second place just ahead of Cheezmonkey. Cam Diz is driving away at the front. He's absolutely on it here in this one. As Ryan looks pretty close to the back of Katie here coming down the start finish straight. Katie's going to have to defend the inside line here coming into Old Hall. Ryan thinks better of trying to get it around him. Is he going to try and get the switch back? No, he's not going to be able to. Katie for the time being holding on. Xander Vander very close on to the back of these two now as well, as they're starting to drop off of Quadeo ever so slightly. deedeeTKU in the comments saying great fight there. Absolutely, Deedee. We're seeing some brilliant action here between the two title rivals here, Standard Control and Cheezmonkey. At this point in the race, Cheezmonkey would take the title, finishing in third place behind Standard Control. Standard Control needs to get himself in the lead and hope that Cheezmonkey makes a mistake and drops back down the order. I think I know what Standard Control is doing now, but I don't know for sure. But I'm starting to get the gist of what's going on here. But I mean, he's too far behind Cam Diz. He's way too far behind him. He's way too far behind him. But if this is his tactic, that could get interesting. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he's doing here. But these two, Standard Control and Cheezmonkey, battling it out, and it's allowing Quadeo, KD, and Ryan Ruby all to close the gap to him. Xander Flando as well going with them. So these four cars, the cavalry's arriving here on the scene. But Quadeo's in tier 2, so for Quadeo, he doesn't count as a tier 1 driver. So technically, if Cheezmonkey were to drop behind all of these drivers that are behind them right now, he would finish in P6. As we see Ryan Ruby trying to get the move done there on KD, but can't get it done. It's KD gets a slightly compromised run though out of Old Hall Corner though. Got a little bit onto the curb. Ryan still can't get it done in towards Cascades. Has to tuck in behind 4 now. Standard Control once again behind Cheezmonkey, 0.3 of a second separating these two, battling over second place. So Quadeo still sat in 4th place, KD, Ryan Ruby, and Xander Vander still very close behind him at the moment. We saw Xander Vander taking up a bit of grass there coming through on his stops, but right now Quadeo still sat in that 4th place and still doing everything he needs to do here to take the tier 2 title. Cordalungu in 10th place is just behind Seamelish. Falguest has kept these two a little bit, 3 seconds up the road. We're running in no man's land pretty much. Interested to see if Falguest can try and close the gap to that battle going on up the road. That battle for P4 with Quadeo, KD, Brian and Xander Flando. He's 20 seconds behind him though, so it might be a bit of a tall task, but he does seem to be getting into a bit of a flow at the moment, this Falguest. If I remember correctly, it's actually a track that Falguest doesn't like. I remember on Project Cars 2, he usually spoke very unaffectionately about this track, so I wonder whether or not it's those demons still haunt him around this circuit. But Cordalungu's still fending off Seamelish at the moment, 0.4 of a second separating these two coming out of Lodge Corner. Gap that Cam Diz has got out front right now is 17 seconds. It's been an absolutely superb reserve appearance here from Cam Diz. Come in very late on, asked if he could be a reserve tonight. We said yes, and he's come in. He's blowing the field away at the moment. 17 seconds. He's a regular in our Porsche Super Cup series, so we know he's got the talent behind the wheel of the car. Also races here and there when he can in the GT3s as well. He's one of the quickest guys here at Motive on ACC on the PlayStation platform. Really showing his mettle right now as Cheezmonkey's still got 0.2 of a second back to standard control. 3 seconds behind these two are Quadeo Arcadi, Ryan Ruby and Xander Flander. And if standard control's trying to drag Cheezmonkey into a dogfight with these drivers behind him, then right now it's looking like it could be working. Standard control having a little look to the inside there of Cheezmonkey, and he's going to maybe try and now get him on the exit, try and get this move done if he can. And once again try and back Cheezmonkey up into this chasing pack a little bit if possible. These two are dropping off at the back of Camdiz by the lap. It's looking ever more likely like Camdiz is going to be able to take this win, which is not what standard control wants at all. But Quadeo Cady still battling Xander Flander. Oh, as Ryan Ruby drops out of this battle here. It must have been a mistake there. Xander Flander's now into 6th. Didn't see that on the stream, but Ryan Ruby's had a bit of a moment there and he's dropped off of this trio, but he's already closing up onto the back of them once again here in P7, so he's recovered from that pretty nicely, but it's still a 4-car train here battling over 4th place. And these now dropping off of these two, Cheezmonkey and standard control once again. So 24 minutes into this race, a minute to go until the pit window opens. We'll have to wait another lap as these guys are coming towards the end of the lap that they're currently on. So Camdiz still leading this race, has stepped up to the plate absolutely superbly here tonight. Can't remember if he's raced in the GT4 before. I'm pretty sure he has, and I'm pretty sure he's done a similarly impressive job, but nothing like this. 20 seconds almost he's got out the front. Been a sublime shoving here from this man, currently showing the way here. Camdiz as he's coming over the line now to complete at least 14th lap of the race. Standard control still within 0.2 of a second of Cheezmonkey right now. Quadeo's got Cady very close behind him as Cady's having a little look coming into Lodge corner. Is he about to get the move done? No, I don't think he is. Xander Flander has been passed by Ryan Ruby. Ryan's back up into 6th. Xander Flander's dropped off, finished back a little bit now. Ryan goes really wide there coming out of Lodge. But Quadeo still sat in 4th for the time being ahead of Cady. In towards Old Hall they come. As Cheezmonkey still holding off standard control in this battle for 2nd place. 0.3 separating these two as they're coming out Cascades towards the lakeside. Oh, his back marker there getting in the way a little bit. Thankfully no harm done there in that exchange. Oh, as Quadeo is now under pressure here from Cady looking to the inside here, coming out of Shallow, and I think he's done it there. Cady's up into 4th place. Quadeo's now got Ryan Ruby looking to his outside and will be offline a little bit for Britain's chicane, and Ryan Ruby's going to get a nice run here. Quadeo's lost out there. Cady up into 4th. Quadeo now under the cosh here a little bit. Ryan Ruby's going to look to the inside, maybe coming up towards his stop chicane. He's going to be able to get this one done. He thinks better of that one, tucks back in for now. Almost gave him a bit of a tap in the rear there. That was pretty close onto the brakes there between those two. But Quadeo avoids a double whammy there as Cady goes off the track onto the grass there, avoiding a back marker. But to be fair, the back marker did a good job there moving over that time, such an up there, getting onto the grass and letting him through. Cady though picking up a position up into 4th place. Quadeo almost lost a couple of positions in space of a few corners. Ryan looking left and right, trying everything he can to get around Quadeo, getting a bit frustrated. You can see there Cady possibly disappearing off into the distance if he doesn't get ahead of Quadeo soon, but Quadeo's got the ability to pick up the pace and get himself back into a rhythm. Just needs to get over this little rut that he's in right now, as Xander Flander still sat behind these guys in 7th place for the time being. So Cady's into the pits, having just got ahead of Quadeo. He spent a few laps behind him. He's got ahead of him and he comes straight into the pits. So that's given Quadeo 4th place. Has promoted Ryan Ruby, Xander Flander up a position each, but we've still got Ryan Ruby still trying to pressure Quadeo at the moment, and Xander Flander on the back of this trio right now, battling over 4th place. Xander control still within half a second of Cheezmonkey in this fight for 2nd place. A title fight here between these two. At this point, Cheezmonkey will take the championship as he is ahead of Xander control on the track and doing everything he has to do in this race. Standard control, even if he finishes ahead of Cheezmonkey, will not necessarily take the title. We need quite a few drivers to get in between them. And right now, Cheezmonkey seems to be a match for standard control here in this race. Cheezmonkey, as we said, came into this round with a 26-point lead in the championship, so it would take a monumental capitulation from this point to the end of the race for him not to take the title. Cheezmonkey very much the favourite here, and it'll be his first title at Motive Racing if he can continue doing what he's doing right now. Standard controller trying to put him under pressure, trying to force him into a mistake, trying to force his hand in any way that he can. Ryan has got ahead of Cordero up into fourth. Zanfan still on the back of these. Obviously, Katie was in this battle earlier on, but he's now dropped down the order, obviously having made his mandatory pit stop. These guys coming into Lodge corner. Katie a little bit wide there, and Ryan's going to pick up the pieces and move up into fourth place there. Oh, no, not Katie. Sorry, that's HRUSA. Oh, God. Sorry. I'm so sorry. That was a mare. Oh my goodness, that is so embarrassing. Obviously, they both drive the Porsche, but oh my God. I've just momentarily forgot that Katie had even been into the pits there. How embarrassing is that? But Cordero still sat in fourth place at the moment with Stan Flander within 0.2 of a second of him. Ryan Ruby coming into the pits having got ahead of those two, so there's a bit of a thing going on. As soon as you get ahead of the drivers that you've been behind for lap after lap after lap, you bring it into the pits and basically negate the advantage. So interesting stuff, but So, hello. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen, for that little delay that we had there. Just received a call, and obviously I do the commentaries on my phone, so there's nothing I can do about that. I do apologise, but Cam Diz in the pits. He's making his stop. The race leader has pulled the trigger. Cordero staying out for another lap or so, maybe. Who knows? We'll have to see once he comes out of Old Hall Corner and see what exactly he's doing. Looks like he's going to stay out for now. Yes, he is. So he's opting to keep it out on the track. King Queen and I'm Such a Nub still need to come in at some point in this race. We're not sure when exactly, but be interesting to see. We've got Sean Freeman, our lead coordinator, so for the GT4s here tonight. He's saying it's full grid, great to see. Shame I can't be there tonight. Can't watch all the stream tonight, but we'll definitely check it out tomorrow. Bring on the super season. 100% Sean. We're really looking forward to having the 12-round season for the ACC and Project Cars 2 leagues. If anybody watching is interested in joining the super season, then feel free to come over to motiveracing.com and join. Click the little bit that says join the sim leagues. A little bit of a shake-up actually. I was going to announce this. I was going to personally actually DM all the drivers who signed up for the Super Trofeo and the Gwinnett G55 Cup, because we're not going to be doing that anymore, just simply because for one, we can't really run all, we can't afford to run all the servers, but secondly, the interest wasn't really there. So we're going to see if we can start up a couple of leagues over on Project Cars 2 for those days, maybe some touring cars and some Clio Cups, and we'll be setting up some public lobbies and seeing if people are interested in those. But yeah, we've got, so for the super season, we've got the Porsche Super Cup on ACC on a Monday night. We've got Tuesday nights, don't think we're going to be doing anything on those. We've got Wednesday nights, where we're going to be running the GT4s, which you can see in front of you right now. That'll be on ACC as well. Then on Friday night, we're going to have the F1 League on F1 2021. Saturdays, we'll be running the GT3s and the LMP2s on Project Cars 2, and possibly, just possibly, we might be putting some touring cars or some Clios on Project Cars 2 as well. In the middle of that, it'll be quite a packed out schedule. We're going to try if we can. And also, we're going to try and run touring cars on Fridays and Clios on Saturdays. So we'll have to see how that works out, or maybe vice versa. We'll have to see. And then Sunday night, we've got the ACC GT3 League. And plus, after that, we're going to have the GTEs on Project Cars 2 as well. So if anybody likes any of those series, if you want to come along and have a look, then go to motiveracing.com and join the Discord server. Live commentary and broadcasts on every single event. So plenty to get excited for in the coming season here at Motive, starting up on September 6th for the Porsche Super Cup. As I say, book your places on the grid whilst they're still there, because they could be filling up pretty quickly during this off-season. But at the moment, Cordero's coming in to make his pit stop, so he should emerge. Yeah, he has come out behind Cheezmonkey and standard control. Katie's also jumped him. Xander Flander is coming down the start-finish straight now, so I think Cordero is going to hold position here ahead of Xander Flander. But it looks like Cordero and Xander Flander have both had poor pit stops, and Brian Ruby as well hasn't had a great one. Katie is getting loads of time in the pit stop phases, though. He's up into fourth, and he's about 12 seconds ahead of Cordero, so that is unbelievable pace there from Katie over the pit stop phases. 10 seconds actually is the gap, but even so, that is pretty impressive. One man who's also had the rubber green in the pit stops is Cheezmonkey. He has jumped standard control. He's now 5 seconds clear of him in second place. Katie running 2.8 seconds behind him in fourth at the moment. Not too far from a podium spot is Katie, so he could be in contention here for a top 3 if he continues driving the way he is at the moment. This has been a splendid performance here from Katie. It really has. He's reeled in Cheezmonkey in standard control over these pit stop phases, and could be in with a shout of a podium, as we said, if he continues driving the way that he is. Got Kodalunga running in 9th place. He's only 8 tenths ahead of C Mellish. This is a battle that could be developing here in the final part of this race. Camdiz, though, doing everything he has to do over the course of tonight. Qualified in 2nd place alongside Standard Control. Standard Control was the man to beat in the qualifying session, but in the race, Camdiz has shot off the blocks, got the lead straight away, and has been controlling things ever since. Splendid performance tonight from Camdiz. He has been on another level from the rest of these drivers, and hopefully he signs up to the GT4s next season. It'd be good to see what he can do as a regular amongst these guys. Obviously, when you're coming in as a reserve, you haven't got the pressure as much on you, so there's not really any expectation. You're not in a fight for the championship, you're not scoring points, so it doesn't really mean as much. There's a lot less at stake when you're a reserve. As soon as you're a regular driver, it kind of puts you in a different ball game essentially. So would be interesting to see if he had a lot at stake and if he was essentially fighting for championship points and maybe even a title. Certainly standard controllers seem to have felt the pressure over the last couple of rounds. He took the win in the first few races that he's had in Tier 1. He took 2 wins in Tier 2 to championship at the start of the season as well. So maybe the pressure of being in a title fight can change the way that you see things. But Cheezmonkey right now sat in 2nd place, clearly not feeling the pressure in any way, shape or form. He's 6 seconds clear of his title rival and looking like he will be able to take the title. Oh, my TV's just turned off, so let me just turn it back on. I did receive a warning saying that it would be 5 minutes until it turned off, but I then immediately forgot about that. So let's get that turned back on. There we go. TV's back on. So at the moment, Candy's looking like he's going to take the win. Cheezmonkey and Standard Control looking good for the podiums. Standard Control has managed to gap KD a little bit. KD now dropping off of this podium fight, now 4 seconds behind Standard Control at this point. But starting to maybe just settle down a little bit now. Not really too many battles going on at this point. Looks like Xander Flanders actually closed up to within a second of Quideo. I've seen this with Quideo a few times over the course of this season. He seems to start races really strong, and then the last part of the race, I don't know whether it's concentration or whether it's tyres. Maybe he takes the life out of the tyres a little bit, but he seems to just lose a bit of time in the final part of the races ever so slightly. Don't know, it could just be me, but he seems to have strong starts and then drops off a little bit towards the end. We saw it last week at Mount Panorama as well. These two, though, Quideo and Xander, are pulling the gap a little bit to Ryan Ruby, who's sat in 7th place. He was in that battle before the pit stops, but it looks like he might have had a bit of a dodgy run coming through the box, so he's now 7 seconds adrift of them. Falguest is closing in on Ryan Ruby a little bit, seems to be finding a bit of a rhythm now. He's got 12 seconds back to Podolungu and C. Mellish, so Falguest looks like he's done a bit of a charge here and could maybe, just maybe, be bringing himself into contention for 7th place if he continues the pace he's going right now. Seems to have found a bit of confidence there in that Audi. Xander Flanders dropped off of Quideo a little bit now, a second separating those two in the battle for 5th and 6th. Standard Control starting to bring the gap back down to Cheezmonkey. You see there 3.6 separating the two title protagonists here. He in turn has got 5 seconds back to KD, sat in 4th place at the moment. Podolungu's managed to gap C. Mellish ever so slightly now, 1.5 separating those two. Is continuing to do the business out front. What a splendid showing it has been from this man, currently leading the race by 24 seconds as we're coming into the closing stages. We're into the final third here almost of the final round of the season here for the GT4s. We knew this one would go down to the wire, but I don't think anyone expected to see this man in the lead of the race. We all thought it was going to be either this man here, Cheezmonkey, the championship leader coming into this round, or this man here, Standard Control, in a last-ditch effort to keep his championship alive. We thought he'd be on it tonight, probably taking the win and hoping that Cheezmonkey ran into problems. Cheezmonkey has ultimately been the better driver over the course of tonight compared to Standard Control. He has generally had more consistency, has made less mistakes, and right now he's 3 seconds ahead of him on the road. Standard Control is reeling that gap down, and we saw a similar situation last week at Mount Panorama, where Standard Control was reeling Cheezmonkey in the closing stages, but throughout the first part of the race and mid part of the race, he just wasn't really at the races. And now he seems to be really getting it down. Standard Control's got the quality pace. We saw him. He was about half a second clear of Cam Diz in the qualifying session. He was about a second clear of Cheezmonkey. So Standard Control has got incredible speed. But I don't know, he just doesn't seem to be with it in the first part of the races for whatever reason. He got a poor start off the line. Cam Diz jumped him into turn 1. Cheezmonkey then managed to get through as well, and he spent a lot of the race behind Cheezmonkey. Cheezmonkey's just got a bit of traffic there. You see in the foreground as he comes into Cascades, there is Standard Control, as he's now flashing his lights at the traffic by the looks of it. And Standard Control is continuing to bring the gap down to Cheezmonkey at this point. Less than 2 seconds separating these two. 1.4 now, so Standard Control is on it, and he's flashing his lights here at one of the back markers saying, come on, I'm coming through. That's Omros Kurt there in the BMW who's being flashed there by Standard Control. As we've got Hendy Killer in the comments saying, go Xander Flander. But Currently, Scand is still in this race at the moment, and he's got reasonable enough gap back to this man, Cheezmonkey, sat in second place. He's got 1.4 back to standard control. He's really reeling him in over these last few laps. He's been bringing that gap down. Could be in striking distance now of taking that second spot. KD's managed to, well, he's still got that gap to Quadeo. He's pulling that out as we speak. Quadeo has managed to hold off the charge of Xander Flander ever so slightly now. 2.1 seconds separating those two at this point in the race. See, Manish has got 1.4 seconds back to Pete Bibb at the moment. Pete Bibb looks like he's trying to put him under a little bit of pressure if he can. BM Racing in the comments there saying it's not my day. That's King Quinn there in the comments. He's, looks like he's got a stop go penalty. He's retired the car. In fact, he's sat in the pits. He's not going anywhere by the looks of it. That is a real shame there for him. Does actually stream his races to his YouTube channel, and as you can see there, his YouTube channel is in the comments section. I've seen he streams all of his races from his POV. Sad to see that unfortunately his race has ended prematurely, as we've got 16 minutes left to go here in this one for the GT4 season, the final round of this championship. Xanderfan brought the gap down to Quadeo a little bit now, 1.7 seconds separating those two. Xanderfan looks like he's trying to bring that gap back down again if he can. Standing control looks like he's got back onto the rear of Cheezmonkey a little bit now. 4 tenths of a second between these two. Cheezmonkey had the better of the pit stops and had a bit of a gap to him, but now standing control is really putting the pressure on him. Cheezmonkey looking like he is going to take the title here as it stands, but maybe standard control can get ahead of him on the track and put some just try and demonstrate that he could have easily been the man taking the title here, but Cheezmonkey's been the most consistent driver over the course of this Tier 1 Championship and will be a deserved winner of the title if he can bring it home. Welcome back, everybody. If you are just joining us, we're just coming into the closing stages of the GT4 Championship here at Motive Racing. This is the final round of the season here at Oulton Park, and currently Standard Control has just been overtaken once again there by Cheezmonkey. These two title fighters here going down to the wire in this race, but Cheezmonkey, it looks like he's got this championship done and dusted. All we needed in this race was to finish 6th or better here. He's currently sat in 2nd place. He's ahead of Standard Control. Standard Control needed to win the race to keep his title hopes alive. He's making a move here to the inside of Cheezmonkey. They're side by side coming in towards Lodge Corner. It's brilliant to see that these two fighting it out for the title. Standard Control knows his hopes are done, but yet he's still giving it everything he's got and still putting on a great show here for us live on the YouTube stream right now. It is brilliant stuff between these two. But Standard Control and his efforts will fall short, unfortunately for him, this season. But he can definitely leave this one with his head held high, knowing that he gave it absolutely everything that he had. Cheezmonkey can definitely give himself a pat on the back because he's been superb over the course of this season. He really has. He's been so consistent throughout the course of this one. It's taken 2 wins in the course of this season compared to, I think, Standard Control's taken about 5, but Cheezmonkey's picked up 2 wins. Victory at Silverstone in the 2nd round of the season, which unfortunately wasn't streamed, so we didn't get to show you that one. And obviously won last week's race at Bathurst as well, which was the one that pretty much made it an insurmountable task for Standard Control to take the title this week, because he extended his championship gap over Standard Control to 26 points, which has allowed Cheezmonkey to come into this one pretty much to cruise it home. He knew he only needed to finish in P6 here this week, and he's currently sat in that final podium spot, so he's done more than he had to do. Standard Control is pulling out the gap a little bit now and showing his talent, but I don't think it's going to be enough for him. As here is the race leader Cam Diz, late standing for tonight, currently coming out of Cascades. He's done superbly, he really has, considering that he's racing as a reserve. I know he's driven these GT4s before, I know he's pretty much brilliant in any car that he jumps into, but even so, he has done an incredible job tonight, driving in the Audi as well. Not the easiest of cars in the GT4s, but he seems to have a bit of a knack with it. See some blue flags being waved for some back markers here, but Cam Diz has got about a lap and a half left to go until he'll be taking the checkered flag, and it's been a really superb job from him tonight. Can't fault him. Standard Control's put 1.6 seconds between himself and Cheezmonkey over the course of these last couple of laps since making that move, and it looks like he finally now has got that pace to maintain that gap. Sander Flanders closing up onto the back of Squideo a little bit, 7/10 of a second separating these two as they fight it out over 5th place. That one looks set to go down to the wire as well, as Squideo goes really wide through Cascades. Is Sander Flanders going to try and get him on the exit here? I think he is. They're going to be side by side down Lakeside, are they? No, maybe not. I think Gwinnett just about holds on for the time being into Island Bend. Sander Flanders having a little look to the inside, can't get it done there. Gwinnett holds on for now. Standard Control's already pulled out a 2-second gap to Cheezmonkey since making that move and getting ahead into 2nd place, but Cheezmonkey still on track for the title, still looking good to take Motive Racing's GT4 Championship in its 2nd season. Cam Diz, though, coming on the run from Old Hall up to Cascades, has got the lead of the race, and it looks like it's going to be the victory for him. He's got about half a lap to go now, and he will be the race winner for the final round 8 of the season here at Oulton Park. Sander Flanders still on the back of Quideo right now, 0.2 of a second separating. In fact, no, he's had a moment there. He made a mistake by the looks of it through the middle sector, and you can see now there's visibly more than 0.2 of a second. 1.7 now separating those two. Now here is your champion to be, Cheezmonkey, sat in 3rd place, qualified in P3 tonight, managed to get ahead of Standard Control in the early stages, wasn't able to go with Cam Diz, who drove off into the distance, but it's been a very well managed race from Cheezmonkey. Didn't get flustered, didn't get concerned about the fact that he wasn't on the pace of the leader Cam Diz. He's just driven his own race, has ultimately been the 2nd or 3rd fastest driver out on track at all times tonight. And Standard Control eventually has got past him and has pulled out a bit of a gap here, but Cheezmonkey, a really worthy champion of this GT4 division, has been so consistent throughout the course of this season. Took wins in round 2 at Silverstone and round 7 at Bathurst, and he's got half a lap to go, just coming into Britain's for the final time, as we will go with the leader Cam Diz, who's coming in towards Lodge Corner for the final time. It's going to be the win here for Cam, racing as a reserve. Hopefully he'll be racing in this GT4 Championship next season. He'll be a contender for the title, that is for sure. Dominant win tonight here at Oulton Park. He takes the checker bag, and Cam Diz, with a superb performance tonight, has not put a foot wrong over the course of this evening. Really well done. Congratulations to Cam Diz. Standard Control's got a few corners to go, and he's going to be a valiant second here in this championship. Gave it everything he had, took both of the wins that he had in Tier 2. Unfortunately, only half of his points from Tier 2 were valid for Tier 1, as you would expect, as makes perfect sense when you think about it. But Standard Control jumped into Tier 1 mid-season and really did an absolutely superb job since he jumped up. Unfortunately for him, he's going to come up second best in their title, but Standard Control crosses the line to take second place here in this race. But Cheezmonkey is the GT4 champion for Season 2 here on Assetto Corsa Competizione at Motive Racing. Congratulations, Cheezmonkey. You are one of Motive Racing's champions, following in the footsteps of Javier Rand, who took the GT4 title last season. Celebrates with some donuts, and Standard Control joining in and being very, very graceful indeed in defeat. Katie comes over the line to take a 4th place, Gwinnett 5th. The GT3 champion finishes in 5th place tonight and takes the Tier 2 title with it as well. Congratulations to Gwinnett. Xander Flander in 6th. Ryan Ruby crosses the line to finish in 7th place. Falgas classified lap down in 8th. HR USA 9th. Pete Bibb completing that top 10. Team Edish in 11th. Duke Martin 12th. The Lazy Camel in 13th place. Kodalungu 14th. Nilsson 15th. Omroska 16th. I'm Such a Nub 17th. And King Quinn in 18th spot. PM in the comments saying P10, nice one. So King Quinn very happy to see Pete Bibb finishing this race in the top 10. But that is that then, ladies and gentlemen, for the GT4 Championship this season. I want to say a huge congratulations to Cheezmonkey on taking the championship for this season. And also Standard Control, who pushed him all the way, ultimately comes up second best. Big congratulations to Cam Diz as well, because he took a dominant win tonight, and maybe if he signed up to the GT4 Championship, he could be a contender to those two as well. Hopefully we'll see Standard Control and Cheezmonkey battling it out once again next season for this GT4 title. But from all of us, it's a big thank you. And this is it for the season for now. If you want to get involved in the Motive Racing Super Season on either ACC or Project Cars 2 for next season, then make sure you go to motiveracing.com. The link is in the top left-hand corner of your screens. Go to the Discord server, sign up for any of our seasons, sign up for any of our championships. We'll see you guys in next season, hopefully in September. September 6th is the start of the season. Lazy Camel says in the comments, nice race at the end there, Duke Martin. You had the consistency, kept making little slip-ups. Unfortunate there, but I did see some of that battle. Unfortunately, we weren't on the mic for that one, but big thank you, everybody. Join us next time. Thank you very much. Have a lovely evening. Enjoy the rest of your summers, and we will see you on the other side of it.
try